Hey man, tell me about these fucking breakfast shakes you make.
Yeah, so the breakfast shakes, it's actually funny. We use the breakfast shakes in Thundrcutz when we're kind of trimming down and tightening up. But I also use it when I'm gaining. It kind of plays on the same principle. Every morning as soon as we get up, we take a shake. Now in Thundrcutz, the reason why we're taking the shake is because when you sleep, you're in a fasted state, you're not uptaking nutrients. And one of the things we're trying to do while cutting is preserve muscle mass while burning body fat, which means that we need to be very aware of the amount of protein we're eating because that's going to be a muscle sparing item. Cool. So what we'll do is like right upon waking in Thundrcutz, you'll take a low calorie, high protein, low carbohydrate shake to number one, get some protein in, but also to get some nutrients, some vitamins and minerals that you're then going to kind of push around your system once you go through the first depletion session, which comes right after. So there's a lot of flexibility here. The one constant we're going to see is that you're going to have a high amount of protein and not so many carbs. So what I like to do is I'll start just with some of my whey protein. This is Nutrex Muscle Infusion. Ooh. It's just a clean whey. I like vanilla because I mix it with berries, and I think like the berries tend to mix a little bit better with the vanilla protein. So 2 scoops of this is going to give me about 50 grams of protein, which is really nice because that's going to have to kind of carry me through the first half of the day because our first couple meals won't come until we get to like 12 or 1 o'clock.
Now, is that 50 recommended just for you, or what if I'm like a smaller guy like Jason?
I'd say anywhere 25 to 50 is fine. There's also factors like, you know, some people, they can't process as much whey protein or their gut gets a little distended or bloated. So I recommend finding a good protein you assimilate well, and you don't need to do any more than 50, right? It's gonna be really hard to process more than that.
So would you recommend people start with maybe 25 and work their way up and see if they have to go to the bathroom right away?
Yeah, totally. You know, and if you're a bigger person, obviously you might require a little bit more protein. Now I like to mix that with some type of berry. I love blueberries because they're really rich with vitamins and minerals. They're great antioxidants, but they also have fructose, and that's going to help not only with your liver, and you're getting a tiny bit of carbohydrates, only about 10 grams of carbohydrates, but it's also going to help push some of that protein around by having some sugars in your system. It's going to help dry that stuff into cells so you can actually use it and start getting it to muscles quickly. Nice. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a half a cup of these blueberries. So a full cup is 20 grams of protein. So a half a cup is just going to be about 10 grams of protein. That's it. Boom.
Carbohydrates.
You mean carbs?
Yeah, so 10 grams of carbs, excuse me. Not so much protein in blueberries. And then the last thing I do is I add some spinach. The spinach really has no caloric value. There's not a lot of fuel in spinach, but what it does have is really good vitamins and minerals and potassium. And it's, again, one of those antioxidants. It's a superfood. Depending on how well you respond to spinach, you can substitute it with something else. I can handle eating a lot of spinach, but even with the amount of spinach I eat a day, it's only a little bit each meal. So here I'm taking like a little handful of spinach and putting it in, but across 5 meals in the day, it ends up being quite a bit. And then the last thing I do is I mix it with a base. Now you have different options with the base. If you like milk, you could obviously do milk. I don't like milk. I don't really respond to it well, so I'll do coconut milk. It's really smooth. It's got a little bit of fat in it, so you know, with this you'll get about 4.5 grams of fat, but still, considering your daily caloric intake, it's extremely marginal. Yeah. So we're still in that low calorie range, and I found what mixes really well is just about 2 cups of this. Gives me like a nice kind of texture in that protein shake. You could also do it with almond milk. Okay, so here we got our items. It's gonna mix really well. I don't even put the lid on when I do it because it mixes so well. So I just start it up. Once you see all the way to the blades, you know that you've blended it well enough.
It's a good little trick you got there.
Yep, and then you just pop it in your gullet. Let me give Andrew, oh dude, this looks delicious.
At that. Would you look at it?
Perfect pour, too.
It's a perfect pour. There you go, Andrew.
Thanks, man.
So that's how you're going to start your day. And what's cool is that because it's so low calorie.
Delicious.
you're able to stay in a caloric deficit the first half of the day. This is really all the fuel you're going to be getting. And then after your training, what we're going to do is we're going to stave off any hunger with a coffee that has MCT oil and collagen in it, because that creates a sense of satiety and fullness, and also helps your brain function so you don't get the hunger pangs, you don't get too cranky. And the goal is to make it to 12 or 1 o'clock each day. And at that point, you can start eating meals, which is fueling around your training.
I hope you show us how to make that coffee.
I'm going to make that coffee right now.
Motherfucker!